Okay, welcome to another round of hashtag Ask Jim. And we have a special guest with us tonight. If you haven't noticed, this handsome, distinguished, fine old gentleman on the end there, who's Archie Hood, who is the best of both worlds, really. He's a current regional franchisor and owns a region in the, what's your region for Handyman?
Handyman South.
Handyman South?
In Victoria.
And you're also a divisional for multiple divisions, which means you're responsible for various services. So let's name them. What are they?
Well, we've got handyman, we've got fencing, we've got skip bins, we've got hazardous materials.
Hazardous material, yeah.
We look after that. I help out Paul Comfort with that.
And
painting.
And painting.
Painting, of course.
Painting.
You're actually the divisional.
Not the divisional, but
you're the support.
The support for a lot of others as well.
That you actually control, which means if anything goes wrong with any of those divisions, we blame you. Is that right?
I'm your go-to. I'm your go-to.
Got someone to blame around this place. And Archie's a great person to blame.
Hard to miss.
He just takes it. But he's welcome to Archie. So he's a good one to have on tonight. And Archie also is a national staff member who actually sits very outside Jim's door, which behind the camera is Jim's office. And Archie's out there just as a bodyguard almost in a way, a bouncer. He's a great one to have on. So thanks to everyone who tuned into last week's show as well and tuning in now. We've got 40 people already, so welcome. But last week was awesome. Big thanks to Haydar and all his extended family, I'm sure, that were watching, and his father. I know he shared it multiple times. And it was great to have Haydar on there. He's a really good guy, and he's also a really long-form interview with Haydar up on the YouTube channel. So we've got a Sharon Connell interview. We've got Jim's Ethos now, which is his 2 hours up on YouTube, plus Haydar's long-form interview. So head to the Jim's Group YouTube channel. They're all in there. And I forgot to thank a lot of people last week who were really important in making that happen. So Jake, who's our producer. So thanks to Jake for setting that up. It was a really big effort. Mike D on the mic, who you saw running around asking questions, it was actually his idea. So thanks to him. We're going to make it a regular of training. So next training week, if you do come along, expect us to do that. It's going to be on a Tuesday night.
Every third week.
Every third week, exactly right. So we'll have new prospects come, and we'll do that on the Tuesday night when everyone's still here, because most people sometimes shoot off on the Wednesday. Thanks to the people last week who asked those questions as well. It was awesome. We got to around 155 viewers at one time, which was great. And that last week's video is sitting around 8,000 views, which is great. It's all organic. So thanks to Eugene as well, Brennan and Mark and the lovely Foothills Conference Centre staff who helped out on the night as well. We appreciate that time. And we probably had the best moment, I reckon, out of all those shows, which was Jim's supervillain laugh, which is now available as a GIF. So if you type in Jim Penman or Jim's Mowing into your GIF keyboard, you can actually use that clip and you can send it to your friends in your messages. I've shown that one to Jim.
Yeah. That came from my school days when I was Munro Murgatroyd.
Who is this guy? I don't know who this is. Munro
Murgatroyd was the villain in our school, sort of like the school play. And to audition for that, I used to go down into the shed below the house and I practiced my laughing. Right. The neighbours said, "What on earth are you watching on television?" That was great fun. So
there you go. So that's a one-of-a-kind GIF, and that was a great moment. So who knows what will happen tonight? So
it was a great part, actually. I tell you what, I love that Munro Murgatroyd. I was scheming to become the school captain, and so my speech was, 3 years in fifth form have I been, before which twice in fifth. Yet my experience is spurned. This manly do-good standeth in my way, and therefore must remove it be.
Did you get voted school captain?
No.
All for nothing.
I got kicked off the stage. Actually, I was the villain. I had to lose. Right. But it was a wonderful part. I loved that part.
It was a rip and laugh, and I reckon it took me by surprise. Then who knows what will happen tonight? So hang around to the end. You never know.
And part of it goes too. And the 50 army greatcoats in my room was found was sheer misfortune. And yet they cannot blame the burning of the gym to me, for Sly did swear that I was singing in the choir. Sly is my sidekick. Right. Yeah, so it's brilliant.
Well, well done.
Great play.
Well done. Well, I had no idea you had an acting background too.
Oh, I love it. You have to be the villain, though. You've got to be a villain.
As we said last week, anyone who has a casting agent, there's a perfect super villain, and you've got on tape his laugh. So I'll keep running down. If you're watching for the first time, welcome. If you're watching via other pages, remember we cross-post, which means if you're in antennas, handyman, if you're in cleaning, if you're in pool care, whatever, and you're commenting in those feeds, we're not ignoring you, we just can't see them. So make sure you leave that comment into the Jim's Group feed. We do have Jake as well monitoring those pages, and he'll try and filter them through to me as much as possible. But make sure you head to the Jim's Group page to leave a comment or question, and we'll get to it. We'll get to a lot of them tonight. And we have some really cool prizes tonight. So we have a $250 voucher courtesy of Linton and Stephanie from Jim's Termite and Pest Control. So we thank you very much. and Jim will award that one at the end for the best question or comment. So get cracking with the comments or questions. $250 voucher up for grabs. And then Archie will award this one. So Jim's book, which is available via Amazon and Booktopia. And then you can have two choices. So for those of you who don't know, Jim's an academic, obviously. So buy a history or every customer a fan. So I'll award one of these books and you can just tell me which one you want in the DM. So there's 3 chances to get something tonight. So make sure you engage with us. And as always, leave a question that's a bit different. We've been going for a while now and we love answering business questions, but something that's a bit off centre, like maybe history.
It's more fun.
It's a bit more fun.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
This is very, very radical stuff. If you want to have your mind blown completely, this is the way to go.
Yeah, I have read it. I remember reading it back in the day when you reached out. And it's quite interesting. But anything about Simpsons, all that sort of stuff, we obviously know Jim's love of Mr. Burns. Leave something like that and we'll try and get to you. But thanks everyone for tuning in. And what we'll do is, as we always start off, is the hashtag Jim's Logo Comp. Now, I had to show Jim the video of this one. So for those of you who didn't see during the week, so this one is Jim's Home Invasion Defence Tactics.
This was about the guy who chased that intruders naked down the street.
With a didgeridoo in his hand.
With a didgeridoo.
And he reenacted it. And that video's gone viral this week. So someone was very, very clever. And they put the old man there chasing some of the blokes there. And I recommend you YouTube that. It's quite funny. So that's a really awesome one. So thank you for that one. That's really good. I quite enjoyed that one. Next one here. Now, a few people here might need this. I don't know. Jim's anabolic steroids.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't get anything illegal. But Jim's anabolic steroids was there. This one was that came through. The Illuminati style Jim's New World Order. So nice.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
You like that one?
That,
yeah. Because you do like that conquest games and all that sort of stuff.
Intrigue and
yeah.
World domination. You know, my best friend at school, actually, we got together, and the thing we had in common is that both of us wanted to be world dictator. But you said the thing we had to practice was to be able to lift one eyebrow, like this, because you can't be world dictator.
So one eyebrow, right?
If you can't raise one eyebrow. Is that right?
Oh.
It's a key skill.
Now, who do you think is the best person at doing that? It's a very famous wrestler. It's a WWE wrestler. A guy called The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. So people watching will know Dwayne Johnson or The Rock. He's got probably the best one eyebrow lift. I'll show you tomorrow with that one. So we'll keep going there. Jim's drifting. So I know that in Archie's division there's a couple of blokes who have Jim's drift cars. They're actually got cars with Jim's handyman on the side and they're flying around.
Up in New South Wales.
So they race them up in New South Wales, yep. And I want to pull this one up, Jim's haircuts. So, because today I know you had a haircut, so...
Yeah, Lee cut my hair, my wife did.
Yeah.
She was very fussy about... When we first met, I cut my own hair, and I used to do it by just reaching out and cutting anything. She said I had the worst haircut of anybody she'd ever seen, and she insisted on taking charge of that. And I let her do it just to keep her happy.
So you literally just whipped your hair with scissors or a clipper?
Yeah, I wouldn't even look at what I was doing. Anything that stuck out, I just know the pair of shoes. I just cut it off. That's how I used to cut my hair.
Gone for the scruffy look.
No, I didn't care what I looked like. I really didn't care. I wasn't trying to look scruffy. I just didn't want my hair to get too long, and that was the easiest way. I used to be studying and. That's how I used to cut my hair.
Very efficient. Save yourself a bit of money.
I don't think anybody had less concern about their appearance than I did.
And the last one here, just do an update, which is this one, which is killing it because the engagement stats, I'm going to read these out. So it's up to nearly 5,000 likes or reactions, nearly 20,000 comments with people tagging each other, 1.1 thousand shares. So Jim's Cob Loaf delivery, you are in the lead by an absolute mile at the moment. So whoever chases that down, good luck to you. But that one at the moment is in the lead. But still use our generator, jims.net. There's 20 runner-up prizes to be won. If you can beat first place, I'll chuck something else in. But make sure you head to jims.net and use the logo generator and make sure hashtag Jim's Logo Comp. That closes June 30. It's still going strong. So we love seeing your entries. It's great on Twitter, Instagram. DM us. We love them. All right, now that's enough of me flapping my gums, and I'll get into it. So we've got a really good show tonight.
Any questions for Archie too?
Yes.
Especially embarrassing. we like to embarrass Archie. It's one of our favourite fun things around this place.
Thanks, Jim.
Isn't that right?
Thanks.
So anyone on the feed who knows Archie, please leave your question in the Jim's Group page. And if you're watching by the Handyman page, just put them on the Jim's Group feed and we can see them. So I'll run down a few people here who've left some comments already. So Lee has joined, Matt Sheldon, James, hello guys, Jaden, Ange, David, Dylan. All right, so I'll run through some of their questions they left on the feed, then I'll get to some left last week. So Matt Sheldon's gone, hey Jim, do you know of a good alternative to Roundup? With all the recent legal dramas, some customers do not want it used, but organic alternatives are quite expensive. Cheers. I had no idea about this.
I have never used Roundup. I have never used herbicides. I hate them actually. And I've got, on my farm, we never use anything except purely organic stuff. And I used to just dig up the weeds myself. I had a way of doing it. I dig them up really efficiently, brown earth, beautiful. Never ever use Roundup. I don't like poisons. I don't like poisons, I don't like herbicides, I don't like pesticides.
Yeah.
Never used them. In all my 15 years mowing lawns, gardening, I never ever used any herbicides, ever. That's my personal opinion. I can't give you guidance to what's the best ones because I don't like them.
Maybe have a chat to your franchisor and some fellow franchisees, Matt, I'm sure in your area, who will know. Thanks for tuning in again. Jaden Hackett's gone here. Jim, what's your favourite thing about having all these people representing the gym's name? We haven't had that one before.
The favourite thing?
What's your favourite thing about it? Like, do you see pride when you see a trailer go by? What's that? What do you think about it?
No, the numbers never struck me as anything. What gives me enjoyment is seeing people succeed. If somebody contacts me and says, it's going so great, I wish I'd done this, 10 years ago. It's so wonderful. I love the lifestyle. I love the flexibility. I just love what I'm doing. That's my joy. The numbers don't really mean very much. Look, I was reading this writer, Paul Dolan, I think his name is, and he's written this book and actually figured out what is the professions that make people happiest. And you know what? There's two at the top, florist and gardener. And I can understand that because I reckon working outside around trees and around grass and stuff is a great job. And I still love doing it. I still enjoy it. So
that was a great article.
I get a satisfaction when people enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
And when people succeed at what they do. And people say, I've got such a better life and I see my kids. That's what gives me satisfaction.
And that's a really good question. And that's that was an article today, I think it was even like a Sydney one that we saw, which was gardener and florist with the two highest rated.
Yeah, he was quoting that book by Paul Dolan, is his name, which I've actually ordered myself. I'm going to read it. I'll get it on an audio book. So
there you go. So I'll run down a heap of people who are leaving some comments now. We're up to 60 people, so welcome. Leave your comments or questions. There's 3 prizes up for grabs tonight. $250 voucher especially from Termite and Pest Control. Jim will award that one at the end, so get cracking and put some comments and questions into the Jim's Group live feed. David's tuned in. Hi, David. Now, Dylan Price has gone here. This is one for you, Archie. Jim, what is the best part of your job? Do you call even what you do a job? I don't think it is it?
Well, it's a job, but it's a hobby. I love the creativity of it.
Yeah.
I love being able to work out ways to do things better. I mean, I get very frustrated at things going wrong with customers not looked after, and I love dreaming up ways of actually making things work better. How can we look after franchisees better? How can we look after clients better? And I know people get annoyed at me because I'm always pushing for better service. Franchisors get annoyed at me for pushing for better service to franchisees. And franchisees get annoyed at me for pushing for better service to clients. But it's so fun. It's very, very creative. And then when you see that working and you see the complaints go down and you see the work coming up and you see people, more and more franchises getting, reporting good income, that's really what the fun of it is.
What about you, Archie, with your, besides the LeBron James type pay packet?
Grossly overpaid, this guy.
What do you like about you, George?
Well, no, the main thing about it is, and you're right, you get these people on board and they achieve something. They're moving from a career they're not necessarily happy with, okay? And they move and start working for themselves, which is a big step for a lot of people. But within 2-3 months, they're turning around saying, this is the best thing I've ever done. Why didn't I do it 10 years ago, as you said before? And working for themselves, people love it. Absolutely love it.
Look what people enjoyed about lifestyle, the kind of things that made them enjoy their job. Flexibility was actually one of the biggest things, is having control of your work environment. Rather than being a wage slave and saying you clock in, you clock out. You can work when you want to, your own hours, and have that flexibility.
Yep, 100%.
That's a good question. Thanks everyone tuning in. Leave us a like as well on these or shares. We love your engagement on this. So James Mitchell's gone, can you confirm that if Jim's cob loaf deliveries win, that will be a new division? Well, I'll tell you what, the amount of interest that's garnered up, it's had a lot, but we've got Jim's Home Fresh starting. So obviously Home Fresh deliveries, they deliver fresh produce. Maybe a cob loaf can be part of their products that they deliver, but I'll tell you what, the interest is...
The thing about new divisions is not so much the idea of the division, it's the person to drive it.
Yeah, correct.
And the divisions that we've got that work really well are those that are well led, which is why, you know, when Archie took over painting, it was just about dead, and he's now got 25 franchisees.
Correct. Yeah.
Like Handyman, since he took that over, it's grown, what, 30%?
56%.
56%, yeah. So when you've got the right person in charge, it'll work well, no matter what it is, whether it's Cobb home delivery or whatever. So there might be somebody out there who's got some great, not just an idea, but a great drive to make that idea work.
Well, let me talk about with your divisions and running it. How did you turn them around? Because you did come in when it was pretty dire straits. What did you do differently to make it go? Because Jim is exactly right. We tend to see, it doesn't matter what the service is, if the divisional is right, it tends to work.
Look, the people you get in around you, the franchisors are a very, very big thing. And they're the people that are bringing in the franchisees. So if those people are looked after the right way, mentored the right way, and they understand the system from the day dot, like, I'm not saying they'll get franchisees in straight away, but over time, even with myself, it took me 3 months. I thought, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. But then all of a sudden, click, 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 you get it right.
But you're also a successful franchisor because you've got your own region. What makes you good at that?
Well, it's communication. Everything's communication with that. But the thing is, the guys, they all know of each other. They don't necessarily sleep in each other's back pocket, but they know of each other. If they need to help each other, they help each other. It's like a community, and it's a good thing. It's a great thing.
So you work to build that.
You've got to have that camaraderie within the division, and it's a great thing. And look, it takes, like, as you know, we're looking after new divisions, and you've got to go back to bare roots again, and then start all over again and get that camaraderie happening. And there's nothing to be afraid of. Be up front.
Well, I just want to talk to, that's a good answer. I just want to talk to a question on here from Andy Stewart, which is going on for the lifestyle statement that was made before. It's a bit difficult. Let's see what you say to this. He goes, you speak about lifestyle. It's the reason I got in. But speaking with other franchisees who also said lifestyle, they are working 50 to 60 hours per week. What do you say to them?
It's often not so much how many hours you work as when you work. The thing of it is, I will take phone calls and emails like at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and I'm known for that kind of stuff. And people say you work crazy hours, but I don't have to work the hours that I want to. Like this afternoon, for example, I knocked off for a while, went down and played squash with one of my staff members here, and that was just really great.
Did you win?
Yes, I did actually.
You're very...
He just about killed me. I was staggering around in the court. He's super fit, but he's just not quite good enough to...
But you've got 25 years at least in these blokes, and from what I've heard, you do obviously win all the games. It's amazing.
I just had a bit more squash than them. This guy Paul Donahue is really, really fit. He gets the balls I wouldn't believe he could get to, and flicks them out and wins. But that ability to actually take time off during the day that I want to and go and do something like that, and then come back and do my emails later, and I'll still be doing this night at 10 o'clock after we've finished here. But I love that flexibility, and it's not so much how many hours you work, it's whether you enjoy what you're doing and whether you've got control over your work-life balance.
Yeah, put in there what division you're from as well, Andy. It'd be good to just see what division you're involved in. What about you, Arch? Do you know how much on average do your blokes work? Because you've got a various range of divisions, which is good.
I've got certain guys that take half a day off on Friday. Yeah. And they build up their work so they can go home early on Friday, pick up the kids from school, and they can swing it around, and they're still making very good money. But they just work it with the leads that they receive, that they can manipulate it. They might have something on with the family during the week, or just take the wife out for lunch one day.
I know somebody who's got a dog wash franchise, and the husband and wife both, they've got 2 trailers, and they both work it. But the wife does it in the way that she can take the kids to school, she goes out and washes dogs, and she picks the kids up from school afterwards.
Yep.
And there's not too many jobs you can do that kind of thing. And she's the same business as a single franchise. Yep. And the husband works longer hours, but he works right through.
But it's up to the individual how many hours they want to work, though. If you're working 50 or 60 hours, you might be saying that when you first start off in a franchise, you've got to put the hard yards in first, okay? And then you can manipulate it to suit your lifestyle as well. But you've got to get, again, that clientele base is a big, big thing with any franchise. And that's what you work on all the time, because you want your clients to call you back all the time.
The big key in franchising, what we try and teach people is to increase their hourly rate. And if you're doing the proper thing, if you're talking to your franchisor regularly, if you're coming to meetings regularly, and other franchisees, you're learning to do better and better and better. And the great thing about that is you can actually increase your income steadily, month after month, year after year, without increasing the amount of time you work. And in fact, if you're happy with your income, you can actually reduce your hours. And that's the great thing about a business where you constantly learning to do new things. One of the great clues to it. Don't just do things in the same way. Try and change things and look around and get inspiration. It's amazingly different. When I was mowing lawns, I was always working out ways to improve things, but I had nobody to help me or advise me. And some of the stuff that I've learned since becoming a franchisor is amazing. I realised I made so many stupid mistakes back in those days.
That's a really good question from Andy. And let us know what service you are, because I'm just looking out for that, so go with that one. So we're going for a bit different question now, a bit different, from Ali Olmez. Ali Olmez is the CEO of Jim's Cleaning Group, so welcome to Ali, and thanks for this one. It's a good one. Hi Jim, we all know your passion for history. If you had the chance to live again, which empire would you prefer to live under, other than the Jim's empire, i.e. Romans, Ottomans, etc.? It's a good question.
Not a great choice, actually. The present day age is so much better than any time in the past. If I could choose a time in the past I would choose something like Victorian England. I think that was an incredibly exciting time. The Industrial Revolution taking off and just new changes in technology and science. I mean, we talk about everything changing now. That was amazing. That was a society that went from being a sort of agricultural society to an industrial society in a couple of generations. The amazing change in human history. I loved the Victorian. I think that's a fantastic time. The Romans, pretty depressing. I know what happened to them, and it wasn't good. And they weren't even very good. I mean, at the peak of Rome, you had these powerful emperors like Caligula who were not nice.
They killed each other off anyway.
And part of the population was slaves, and they were treated in a dreadful manner. And I'm never crazy about the Romans. In fact, if I was talking about a civilization that I really like, it'd probably be something like classical Athens.
Right.
Would be a better period than that. And that was an amazing society. You had a few tens of thousands of people in living in, just for a period of about a century, late 5th, early 4th century, this amazing burst of creativity, great names of philosophy and history and architecture and painting and all these drama, all these incredible developments happening in that brief period of time. If I was going to live any time, I would live then in classical Athens.
Really good question. What about you, Arch? We'll put it to you.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
You might have been around in that time, maybe.
I'm old enough. No, I think the old 20th century was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see the dentist tomorrow. I tell you what, I am really, really grateful for modern dentistry. That is one of the great blessings of the age.
I remember, going to a few museums when I was a kid, and you see those old dentist chairs from like 1870 or whatever, and what they used to use. Gee whiz.
Torture.
Yeah, not good.
The amount of pain people used to suffer in the past from dentistry is just unbelievable. Like George Washington had these wooden teeth, and one reason they say you never see him smiling is because the agony was so great with all the rotten teeth that he had. And this was a man who was wealthy, one of the wealthiest men in that period, in that area. So.
That's a really good question, Ali. So thank you for that one. Looking forward to your interview coming out soon as well on YouTube. It was a really good one. Okay, so we go down here. Linton Paddock says, much better shirt tonight. Yes, it is definitely, Linton. Thanks for sending that, and thanks for the voucher as well. We appreciate it. Rob Duncanson's gone. This is a good question. So Rob's about to become as a Jim Skip Bins franchisee. So he's gone, hi blokes. I'm waiting for a Jim Skip Bins contract to arrive in my inbox any day now. It seems to me that many of the franchises, e.g. mowing, cleaning, and many others, have a straightforward way to make extra income by hard work in marketing leading to splits. That doesn't seem quite as straightforward in Skips, as many customers are not asking for monthly jobs. Is that a fair comment? Is there a slight variation in model for business for growth in Skips?
You can't split in Skip Bins, but the great thing about Skip Bins is if you can keep yourself busy, and that isn't automatic because there's work coming from the office and you've got a lot of self-promotion and you've got to drop off your card at builders, and any time you see anybody you're passing by in the street, you've got to drop your cards off, say hello, introduce yourself, build relationships with people like that are ongoing. But the great thing about Skip Bins is your hourly rates are incredible. They're higher than any other divisions. I mean, you can be making yourself people tell me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Whereas a typical lawn mowing contractor probably makes, like 120 grand a year would be fairly common. Some of them make a lot more, but that's more the norm.
That's a really good question, Rob. What about you, Arch? Because you are the divisional for skips.
Yeah, well, what I'm finding is most of them are getting into the sorting as well.
Sorting, right.
There's ways of making the dumping a lot cheaper. Tariffs are going up with state governments. New South Wales have got issues with bingo taking over all the dump yards and so forth.
Yeah.
But in recent times, the state tariffs going up have caused a lot of grief and hardship on the consumer as well, because they're the ones that primarily have to pay. But across the board, there's quite a few skip bin operators out there, but we're one step ahead of all of them because we're very strong. We've got 80 franchisees out there.
And we have these sorting yards. The great thing about the sorting yards, so it's not just a matter of reducing the cost of tipping. You've actually got a lot of valuable stuff. They have whole bins of copper wire and stuff, which is a fortune. Paper or bricks.
Bricks,
get the bricks
anything,
out. Yeah.
And that's for a minimal cost compared to what the costs are to dump it at a tip.
There's not actually a lot you can't recycle if you really work at it.
And that's the way the world's going as well. I had a franchisor, Mike Cates in Queensland. He's looking at getting a furnace, industrial furnace, to burn off things as well.
Really?
Yeah. And they're in the market, but obviously you've got to have the tick of approval from the EPA and things like that. But it's another way of looking at things as well. And when you've got such a big group of guys, you can get away with that because the savings are great.
Well, there's a terrible problem we've got in a society. You know all this problem about they're being cut off from China now, so they're dumping it in Southeast Asia. It's absolutely appalling, the waste. I really am concerned about that. At our place, we actually compost everything. We have chooks for all the surplus food. We compost everything, including a lot of paper. And then, of course, you try and sort out the bottles and the paper for recycling through the council. But, as far as possible, it really upsets me that we're stuff going to landfill.
Well, in South Australia, you still get returns on your bottles. When I was a young boy, you take your bottle back to the milk bar and you got 20 cents back for the bottle.
When I was a kid, you used to have milk come in bottles which were reused and recycled all the time. So we were a lot more environmentally friendly in those days than we are now.
And that's a good question, Rob. And I would say to you, don't just sit back and rely on leads. The best ones get out there as well and make that face-to-face connections. If you just rely on leads coming in, you're probably going to get frustrated. I would get out there and just get your face in front of as many people as possible, whether that be builders or whoever. If they meet you, they're more likely to do business with you as opposed to a digital ad. So get out there.
There are divisions like mowing and dog wash and cleaning where it's not difficult to get, or fencing, another one too, where it's not difficult just to take leads from the office. And mostly you can do quite well off that. But divisions that are more once-off, even though they're very lucrative, like skip bins is a good example, just need to do a lot of self-marketing.
There's a high turnover of leads that do come from here for skip bins as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
We get a few, but you couldn't live off them.
Oh, you can. You can.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're out there, you want to build your customers. A lot of franchisees out there have got 2 trucks as well.
Yeah, that's a good point for Rob, actually. Yeah, they do 2 to 3 trucks, a lot of them have after they get through.
Yeah, and in saying that, you get onto your builders. Now, one of our guys up in Queensland, he's at Toowoomba. He's probably the busiest guy in Australia.
But
he's got 3 trucks.
What I'm saying is these guys are not the ones that wait for the jobs to come through the call centre. They do their own marketing. They drop the marketing. They talk to the builders. They talk to the landscapers.
100%.
That's how they do it.
The basic stuff, still, if you want to call it a hustle, still works really well. If you watch a good interview with Sharon and Haydar on the YouTube channel, they say that stuff as well. The basic, there's nothing like a face-to-face get in front of a business owner and say, hey, I'm in your area. Next time you need something, think of me, bang, doing that.
And even with things like mowing and stuff, you go in there to mow the lawns, and if you've got any brains, you upsell, you offer them gutter clearing, rubbish removal, landscaping, pruning, whatever. You do the extra stuff, which is higher hourly rate, and you're already there. And the people who make the most money are those who actually do that consistently.
And it all adds up. It all adds up, those little things.
Yeah, it does.
So I'll run through some of these questions that have been coming through from the other feed, so thanks to Jake for sending us through. So I'll just get through for acknowledgement. So Belinda Hadley up from Jim's Dog Wash, Northern Queensland. Thanks for tuning in. Kim McGavick from Jim's Dog Wash NZ. Thanks for tuning in as well. Zoe Hurd, when is Jim's Dog Grooming coming to Kalgoorlie? Well, that's probably a question for Sharon, and we'll have Sharon on in a couple of weeks. So Kalgoorlie, obviously, booming mining town. So I don't know when they're coming there. Hopefully someone in Kalgoorlie is watching. We need Jim's Dog Wash.
We've just cracked 100 with Jim's Dog Wash.
Yeah.
I reckon we could have 1,000 one day, because 1 in 3 Australian households got a dog. So it's a huge industry, and unlike it, it's a lot more difficult to wash your own dogs properly than it is to mow your own lawns, because you can go and buy a lawnmower from Bunnings for a few $100, but to do a really good hydro bath wash with for a dog, which is much better than normal wash, because it really gets the loose hairs out and gets to the root of the, it takes out the smell. So it's a much better job.
And it's heated water too, so the dog doesn't get cold. It's heated water.
So you need special. Nobody has that. Themselves.
Yeah,
so it's actually an potentially incredibly great division.
Yeah. So David Small goes, Jim's Dog Wash, Wed Gladstone, Doggy Dave tuning in. He's called himself Doggy Dave. Welcome. Jackson James has gone, will there be a Jim's public transport? We get this one a few times, probably not. We do it a lot better than them, I reckon. Okay, so here we go here. Carissa Hinton's gone, everyone's going to be watching the State of Origin tonight. Do you know what the State of Origin is, Jim, at all?
Something to do with sport, I think.
It is something to do with sport. Do you know what type of sport?
Rugby?
Yes, good get. Which one though? There's two.
How would I know?
Rugby league. We'll go rugby league. Now they've gone, she goes, I don't like the blue shirt. You would look better in maroon. Someone here has gone, well, with the Origin, there's Queensland versus New South Wales. It's a state-to-state rivalry. Someone's gone here. Who do you think will win, Jim? He goes, Paul Bradley.
I am the worst question in the world to ask questions about that. I can't even pretend to be interested in sports, sorry. It's like that famous statement when somebody asked me, it's in this book here.
Oh, about the,
going past this, I said, what's that building there? And he said, it's the MCG. How could you not know what the MCG is? I said, I haven't got a clue what it is. How would I know? I've never been to an AFL game in my life.
I had the Olympics there too, Jim.
I didn't go to the Olympics either. I am very interested in history and science and business and all kinds of things, but not sports, sorry. So I'd never make a politician. I can't even pretend to be interested in sports. Sorry, all you sports lovers out there, my apologies.
So Paul and Carissa, I'll answer that question for you. As a proud Victorian, I'll say Queensland, just for the hatred of New South Wales, but I think New South Wales will win. Who do you think, Arch?
New South Wales will win easy.
They should win easily, but hopefully Queensland, just because of the rivalry of Sydney there. So where are we at? We're at 70 people watching, so thank you for those not watching the Origin and hoping and tuning in here. And we wish you the best with your team tonight. So we'll go through a few more questions down here. So Nishit Patel's gone, do we have any plans in the pipeline at National to boost up work leads this winter?
Yes, we do. And the way we do it is by drilling down on customer service. I go through most of the complaints in this business every day, and I cannot tell you how many. I got one this morning that was so disgusted. They said, I'll never use gyms again. And I tried to get back onto him and I said, okay, here's a $50 Jeep voucher. He said, I don't want it. I'll never use it. I'll never use you again. This guy was so furious. And you know, that spreads. You have that same reaction. This is one guy who happened to tell us. What about the ones who don't tell us? Every time we let a customer down, we lose that customer forever, not only just for that division, but every other divisions, and everybody they know they're going to say, don't ever use gyms because they did such a bad job. Now, if we could really get on top of that, leads would skyrocket like anything. I reckon better, if we can halve our levels of complaints, which is my absolute aim over the next 12 months, I reckon that'd be worth more than an extra $5 million worth of advertising. That is my view. People learn from experience. They have great experience. Like something like Google, okay? Now, how much money did they Google spend in getting known? They didn't. They just had a system that worked better than anyone else, and people looked at it and they said, I can remember going onto Google myself the first time, and I had such a great experience. This is so much better. And I've used them ever since. They've never had to spend $1 in advertising to get me because the experience is good. That's what we've got to do in gyms. We've got to give people such a wow of an experience that everybody will want to use us again and again and again. They'll tell their friends, use gyms. That's the clue, not advertising. And that's a service.
And that's a great point, because we've got another question here which I wanted to get to, but which basically said, hi Jim, why don't we do more advertising on television and newspapers? This was from Scott last week.
Because they are completely ineffectual. They are basically a waste of time. Franchisees tend to like TV because they can see it.
Yes.
But in terms of, we actually check source of leads as one of our major reports. and you run a television campaign, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and just watch what a pitiful response comes in. Whereas things like Nose Gyms, Gyms User, Google, Internet, massive.
I'll tell you,
That's where the work comes from, even things like Facebook, but not... The online is where everything goes these days.
What TV's good for, Scott, is brand awareness. Now, Jim doesn't need much more brand awareness.
You just drive down the road and you'll see our brand everywhere.
Yeah, TV is great for brand awareness. And I think going back to your point as well, Nishit, was about the thing like if you pump money into all this, let's say we do a national PPC campaign, etc., etc., etc. Client goes, cool, this ad's here, I'm going to use them, and they do a bad job. They're going to damage our reputation that much more. So we've actually done more harm than good. And also what we're doing at National is this. We do this weekly, so everyone can come and see what Jim's is about with customer service. You can take this video.
Well, social media is very effective.
It is very effective.
This kind of thing. And also this book too. We've got fantastic publicity from this book. You know, one of the comments in the franchisee survey, somebody was saying how he'd noticed how much increase in leads. Because out of this book, we've had, I don't know how many millions of dollars worth of publicity.
That sunrise spot for 5 minutes. We've had a lot of different syndication with papers and stuff. And that was just based on the back of this book. So stuff like that, Nish, it's not direct like we're doing a national PPC campaign or TV campaign because, as Jim said, it's not the most effective use of spend. Creating content like this and value and books and stuff like that is what we think is better. And the customer service on the back end is the most important thing.
So we've noticed since we've been doing surveys that our leads have jumped dramatically. Like we had 180,000 unserviced leads last year, but one lead in 4. That is far more than we had 2 or 3 years back. The numbers of franchisees haven't risen, well, they've risen, but not as much as that, but the number of leads go like that. And people say, well, obviously you're doing more advertising. Well, the funny thing about that is that we have found in recent years, the last couple of years, that some of the franchisors just cannot spend the money. We've had several cases where the franchisor goes to the franchisees and says, guys, we're flat out year round. Here's a few $100,000 back that we can't spend. And this has never used to happen in the past. So more leads, less advertising, that's customer service, and that is the key.
Yeah, and so what about you, Archie, with your guys who might say that, coming up to winter, what do you advise them to do? Is there anything different at all?
Well, the thing is, we're very fortunate as well because a lot of the guys out there, we can cross-division work as well. Like for painting, for instance, outside painting is out in Victoria because of the weather, okay, because it's raining. Same as New South Wales, South Australia. The warmer states like WA and Queensland, they're a lot more fortunate because of the better weather. But now I offer some of my guys cross-divisional work. Now, whether or not they can do it themselves or they can employ someone to do it, they're at least making some type of money to help them along the way. And we're getting a lot of unserviced work in some divisions, but as long as they're trained and they're licensed to do that work, there's not an issue in the world. They can do those other jobs as well.
And the other thing too, and I know I'm speaking like a broken record, but the franchisees who give great customer service also tend to make a lot better income. We worked out the franchisees in the top quarter are only about 1/8 as likely to report poor income as those in the bottom quarter in terms of customer service. Franchisees who fail in the first year, leave in the first year, have an average star rating of like 4.1. Those who survive and go on are more like 4.6. So customer service affects not only Jim's Group as a whole, but it has a very major impact on the franchisees themselves.
I think it's a smart approach because you look at the other online players or whatever, and they pump all that money into getting in front of you online, but then they give a bad experience.
And that's the great experience. That's the great advantage we've got over anybody like High Pages. More and more, if we can get our service better and better, people will come to us because they get the great experience. Not the cheapest price. If you just want cheap, go away. We don't want you. If you want great service, we want you to come to us. And that's the experience that you've got to have. So if you call us, okay, we're not the cheapest, but great service, rang back fast, turn up on time, nice to deal with, did the job beautifully, no problem at all. That's what we want every time. And if we can achieve that 100%, which is my aim, I'm not saying we'll never reach it, then the amount of work that's going to come in and the income of our franchisees will be fantastic.
And that's a really good question, Nishi, and we appreciate the answers from you guys as well. It's really good. And then following on, Blake from last week, it's sort of related, he goes, who is more important then, the franchisee or the customer in your eyes?
We put franchisees first. We always say our first priority is the welfare of our franchisees. In fact, if you get an email from me, which many people out there watching have, you'll see that this here, our first priority is the welfare of franchisees. we are also passionate about customer service. Franchisees are number one, and most of our time and effort as franchisors is spent talking about franchisees and how we can make them more successful. But customer service isn't an alternative. Great customer service is the single best thing we can do to help our franchisees to be successful. But the problem with us is we've got an incredible oversupply of work in so many divisions. We just can't recruit franchisees fast enough to cope with the growth in the leads. So we always put franchisees first.
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll run through some comments here from the other pages, and thank you for everyone tuning in. There's around 62 eyes on it at the moment, which is great. Welcome. Leave us a like, comment, or share, and we'll get to as many as we can. So I'll run through some comments left on the other pages here. So here we go. Gordon Cornish has gone, hi Jim, would really love to help your business with gutter vacuum industry. Skyvac Australia, more than happy to talk. Well, flick through business development at gyms.net, Gordon, we'll be happy to deal with it. Brett Abdi's gone, hi guys, great chat once again. Thanks for that. Shane Baggett, remember Shane?
Shane.
Hi gents, great setup.
How are you going, Shane?
I'm sure he's doing really well, Shane.
I'd like to know your latest figures.
Jim's Cleaning Group Australia and New Zealand's gone, hi Jim, what separates Jim's group and services it provides from the rest of the crowd, and why should someone use Jim's services, especially when it is known that we're definitely not the cheapest option out there?
Because quality. If you want cheap, go elsewhere, go anywhere you like. If you go to High Pages, I don't care. If you want quality, come to us. Our systems are incredibly rigorous. We know that with Gyms Plus, which is where we send jobs to franchise people who are not gyms when we can't cope with them. We've got a growing number of contractors out there who take our surplus leads. But we know, even though we tell them again and again, if you don't give good service, you'll get problems, and we coach them and we ring them and we do everything we can, we still know we're many times more likely to get a complaint from a Gyms Plus than we are from one of our own people.
A lot of question last week from Quez, and he said, well, when is the same level of compliance coming into Gyms Plus as there is with gyms?
Well, actually, what we're doing now, just this last week, I said, all right, anybody who gets below here, get rid of them off the system. Just cancel them. Anybody who's between here and here, give them one warning and tell them if they don't improve, they go. So we're actually going to start weeding people out who don't give great service, even not in Gyms Plus. I don't ever expect there's going to be as good. Some of them are actually great. Some of them are actually as good as they're at the gym standard. Your top 20% are fantastic. I don't think we're ever going to achieve the same level of service as gyms franchisees do. But with time, we expect to wean the good ones out and let the other ones go. And of course, what we'd really love to do is to get the good ones to come into us.
Yeah, definitely.
If you got a 4.7 star rating as Gyms Plus, we're going to say, please join us. We really need you.
Well, I want to flow on here because we've got another question from Melissa Pollock relating to this, so I'll try and put them in the same thread. She's gone, hi guys, Jim, do you think excellent customer service is something that can be taught and or learned? So many tradies seem to lack basic service skills.
Yeah. Definitely can be taught and learned because of the fact that our customer service is so much better than that of independents, and basically the same kind of people. After all, if you go into business for yourself and you succeed, you've really done pretty well, because something like 90 to 95% of independent cleaning and gardening business fail in the first year. With us, its figure is 11%. So you have to be pretty good. But even so they're not fool people who do this, but even so their service is way below ours. But we also notice something too, when we send out a warning letter or a breach notice, which happens when they hit a certain number of complaints, what you'll see is a dramatic drop normally in the level of complaints that follow that. So when we put pressure on somebody, when the franchisor rings them and says, hey, you've got to stop doing this and you've got to do better here, and they coach them and they talk to them and they get this nasty emails and stuff like this, it does have an effect. Yeah. It really has an effect.
We do hear all the time when they get a complaint, franchisees get really upset. And obviously it makes life hard for the franchisor. But
and sometimes it's not always fair too. This is the thing too. Sometimes if it's obviously wrong, like if you can prove you rang the client and you texted them when you couldn't get through, I'll delete any complaint that arises, say, from like a contact. But sometimes you get a complaint that's unfair, but there's not objective evidence, and we leave it on. And franchisees get very, very upset about that. But if you take off complaints every time somebody objects to them, then you have no system of customer service. Everybody gets 5 stars, nobody gets complaints, service drops into the floor, and leads die down and income drops. It's difficult. A lot of people would like me to lighten up. I get it every day. Somebody Somebody emails me or calls me and say, Jim, everything will be fantastic, just lighten up. Cancel the leave, cancel the poor complaints, cancel the surveys, and everybody's going to be happy. And I say, no, you won't, because you may get stressed by the occasional complaint or bad review, but people get a lot more stressed when they can't feed their families or pay their mortgage. And that's what I always looked at. What is the best interest of my franchisees as a group?
It's a great one, and it's a really good topic. Now, Archie, we want to touch on that with you because you had a lot of different ventures before coming to gyms. I didn't introduce you properly before, but from your experience with other industries, what was the difference in customer service from coming from those to coming into gyms?
Look, the follow-up is great here, but it's a paramount piece of the puzzle for gyms. The mentoring is better than anything else around. Number one, you touched on the franchisees getting upset, but the thing is, it makes them better the next time as well.
And it's better for the system. It's also better for them too.
Correct, 100%.
Because they're doing the wrong thing. It's hurting their business.
Even though
maybe it may upset them.
But I've got one guy I'm thinking of just at the moment. He says, but I went out of my way to try to help this person. I just couldn't do anything to make them feel happy. But it was still a complaint. I said they weren't happy with the way you approached it. But the thing is, you've learnt something from this.
What can you do different next time?
Correct.
And I often say this to
100%.
franchisees. Sometimes you get very good franchisees. You get someone like a 4.8 star rating, which is phenomenal, and they get a complaint. But then you look at it and say, okay, is there something you could have done different? The customer got the appointment wrong. Maybe that's what happened. But what could you have done? Could you have texted them the actual complaint, the time of the appointment, so they didn't make a mistake?
But a lot of these complaints are coming from the time it takes to get your quotes in. Now, I come across some of the franchisees, but I'm waiting for a quote from somebody else as a part of the quote that I give to the customer. And I said, but have you notified the customer that you're waiting for a quote from another service?
And give them a time when you're going to get back
Correct.
to them, or let
Correct.
them know. It's no different.
And it's the same as when you say you're going to meet someone. Don't say a specific time, like 3 o'clock. Say between 3 and 4. It's just simple little things that help customer service.
Yeah, so Heidi actually is going here. Heidi Schoeney's from Antennas and Security, so welcome to Heidi. She's gone, what are the top 3 top-rated divisions based on star rating? Do you know off the top of your head?
I'll tell you what, building inspections does incredibly well. They are really, really, really good. I think test and tag's very good too, actually. I couldn't speak for the rest. But I know building inspections, most of those guys seem to be 4.8 and above. They're a really good bunch.
I don't know what, Antennas might be up there, Antennas? Security?
I can't
remember.
I can't tell you.
So thank you for everyone watching. There's a few people watching now, which is great. Still, we welcome you. Make sure you're $250 voucher from Termite and Pest Control. So leave a comment or question. This is probably the night to do it, plus 2 books as well. Do it via the
Well,
Gyms
you can
Group page.
choose that. If you don't want it, you can have a book instead, or a couple of books.
I think they might take the $250 voucher. That's maybe the one.
That's if you've got pests.
That's it. Well, you might use it on a partner or something, or some annoying neighbour or something. Maybe they can come over.
You're going to use it on a partner, pest control. What are you going to do? Rat poison on your partner?
No. Just give him a bit of spray. Just give him a spray.
That's Jim's hitmen, not Jim's pest control. We only control pests.
That'll be a voucher next week, maybe. We'll see how we go. But make sure you leave a comment or question via the Gyms Group page to have it in there. So I'll run through some more of the comments left on other pages here. So Sharon Connell in response to the Kalgoorlie one's gone soon. I'm sure Sharon will have someone there. Grace Doravada's gone, and most of us groom cats too. I had no idea about that until we interviewed Sharon. So they do, Jim's Dog Washing Grooming do groom cats.
Yeah, I had my cat washed by
Really?
a dog wash. It was poor little Herman did not enjoy it one little scrap. Herman was our cat's name. Beautiful cat, ginger cat. Did not like being washed, I can assure you.
Herman the cat.
Worst experience of his life.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one to watch a cat. Scott Mann has got a brand new Jim's car detailing business up in Kalgoorlie. So all my work has come from Facebook and word of mouth. Thanks for tuning in, Scott, in your first month. Hope you're doing well. Shane Baggett says he's a little slow but going all good. I'm sure a slow week for Shane might be a bit of money. Darren Schaefer here's gone, hashtag Jim's wing is back. Live, welcome Darren. Nick Kringle's gone, how's Jim's space explorations coming along? Well, I think we're going to compete with SpaceX and join up with Nicholas.
I think space exploration is a great thing. I'm really fascinated by people like Elon Musk and and Jeff Bezos and stuff putting their money into going into space. It was fantastic. When I was young, my greatest ambition was to be on a colony that was going to another star system. That was
Really?
I was a great fan of science fiction. I just love the idea of exploring in space.
Well, they've got those Mars volunteers. I don't know. Yeah? Would you do that?
I wouldn't now. I've got things to do on Earth. But when I was younger, I certainly would have.
Yeah.
I reckon going to Mars and living there, not to go and come back, to go there and set up a colony and live there. You see that film, The Martian?
I have, yes.
When he was
with
growing
Matt Damon,
potatoes?
Yeah.
I thought, how great to go there and just build a civilization on another planet. And you could do it. The technology is there.
What about you, Arch?
I'm happy where I am.
Some might say you live on Mars a bit up in your little corner up there, but
Nah. Just like my feet on the ground.
that's quite interesting. I didn't know that at all. That's a very different one. That's a new one, the first one tonight. So I'll run through some more questions here. I'm going to run through a bit of a different one here. So Jason last week gone, hi Jim, what type of computer gaming machine do you have?
PC. Very boring.
But so you have a PC, is it hotted up or anything, or is it just your basic PC? Or
Hey, listen, I'm going to disappoint everybody dramatically. The game I most enjoy is a game called Conquest, which is a very simple risk-type game that you play on a PC. And it's probably about 30 years old and is so primitive. And I play it because it's a little game I can just play for a little bit of a break. It doesn't take too long, not too much concentration.
what about Age of Empires? I know you've mentioned that one before.
I used to like that in the past,
Yeah.
but these days I like something very short.
So Conquest, look it up, and that's a great one, Jason. What about you, Arch? Do you have any consoles? I know you've got a couple of young people at home. What are they?
The young bloke plays that silly game.
Fortnite?
Fortnite, that's the one.
Fortnite, yeah.
He's into that, and I walk into his room, and he's, Dad, go away, don't talk.
How old are you, young fella? He's around 16.
16.
16,
Yeah.
so just starting to get in a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, girls.
girls, always the case.
Yeah, my 9-year-old, he lives for video games, but we have a rule that he can't play them after 8 at night, only reading, and between 11 and 3. And it was very funny actually because they had a birthday party, and I was just chasing the kids around and growling, being a monster, all the stuff I normally do.
Doing a supervillain laugh with them.
Yeah, just that stuff, just playing with them, and they thought this was wonderful. And then Aaron told these kids another time. He said that he couldn't play video games between 11 and 3, and these kids were aghast. They said, "But I thought your dad was nice."
You got a Sony 4 at home, I think, don't you? A Sony PS4, is it?
Yeah, we don't know how to use it. We've got the.
What does Aaron play on? What's he use?
He just uses his
iPad.
Yeah, just does things on there.
Through the Atari app.
Simple games.
The Ataris are coming back, actually. You can buy
That's
them.
what I heard.
They're very
No,
expensive.
it's just a PC. He just downloads games and plays them on his tablet. That's what he does mostly.
On the tablet, yeah.
Yeah, just little things where you shoot things down and jump and stuff like that.
They'd be whiz-bang on the computer. Most young kids are now. It's insane how their levels on digital technology
Well,
is.
it's just as well too. If I ever want anything fixed at home, I don't worry about it. I just go to my 16-year-old daughter, and she'll just anything. She'll just fix it for me.
It's getting that way. So thanks for everyone watching. Around 65 people watching at the moment, which is great. Welcome. $250 voucher on offer. So make sure you leave a comment or a question, and you got 3 chances.
But that's
to
only
win.
the ones on this main channel, isn't it?
Yes, that's the ones I can see. However, Jake's been really good in scanning the other pages and trying to feed them through. So I've got another Slack channel open here. So I do see some in there, which has been coming through as well. So I'll go down to 3 questions left in the main feed here. So Jim's gone, Jim, Jared Harvey, founder of Harvey Norman, a successful franchise businessman, has had a few words to say this week around the homeless. What advice might you give Mr. Harvey on his public words if you heard what he said? I don't know, did you hear it? I haven't heard what he said, so I've got no idea with this one.
Okay, I have a different view of these sorts of things. The whole aim of the research, which is based on these books, is that what counts is character. And what my research program is, which I'm funding through my Institute of Social Neuroscience, is in looking at ways to make fundamental changes in character. And I think if we can do that, we can solve problems of homelessness, mental illness, even poverty, if we can work out a way to help people to change character, to be more successful and more capable in themselves. I think that is the point. People are going to be changed from within. We've got to help them to do that.
And that's what you're doing with your institute and your ISM and all that sort of stuff.
I don't actually give to any sort of charity. The only thing I do is I tithe to my church, of course, and I fund my research, because that to me is the best way that I can change the world, by helping to change character. So somebody can look at it and they've got a drug addiction problem, or they're obese, or whatever their problem is, And the idea is we can actually say, okay, here's a treatment, something that you can take yourself, which will help you to become the kind of person that you want to be. Because nobody wants to be addicted, nobody wants to be obese, nobody wants to be depressed or mentally ill. And here's a tool that can help you to do it by understanding the fundamentals, which is to do with the pheromones, the hormones, the limbic system, epigenes, all this scientific stuff.
Yeah.
If we can understand the basis and help people to change, that's the way that I would like to help homelessness. Not just a few people here and there, but tens of thousands all across the world.
That's a great question, John. And Jim obviously uses his vehicle of Jim's Group to put into that, because he puts, I don't know, I'm not going to say how much millions you put into it, but it is millions of dollars into this. Yes. And but we did have a suggestion last week regarding growing the beard back. So we are going to do the Movember thing, and that will go to Beyond Blue. So when that's closer to the date, I will set that one up, and we should get hopefully having Jim grow his beard back. So here we go. Martin has gone here. Hi, Jim. When you're about 24 months into your franchise, what should the percentage split in income be between leads and own work generated? Thanks. It's a good question. We haven't had that one before.
Well, if you're in a regular service division like mowing, cleaning, dog wash, those kind of ones, the great majority of your work should be coming through your own repeat referrals and so forth. I mean, most of our franchisees take very little work. So it depends what you're doing though. If you're doing something like carpet cleaning or one of those, even skip-ins, you'll need a lot more leads from the office, or antennas is another example. But if you've got a regular service business, you ought to be generating enough. And in fact, if you take leads from the office, you should generally speaking be doing that to try and build a major business and splitting or putting on workers and this kind of thing. You shouldn't need leads from the office after 24 months just to make yourself. If you're giving great service and doing a little bit of personal marketing, it should keep you fairly busy. The one thing I would say to anybody is always try and take your territory, if nothing else, because, which many franchisees don't, but if you take your territory, what happens is you get more and more local work and you can gradually split off, sell whatever the outlying ones, and your business becomes more and more lucrative with time. So you shouldn't need lots of extra leads for most divisions to keep busy. The only reason you take them is so you can split, or you can improve your income by cutting your travel.
Well, let us know what franchise you're in as well, Martin, in the comments. What about you, Arch? You have a good one, but you've got different ones.
Yeah, because Jim hit the nail on the head there. It depends on the division. And as you said, some divisions get a lot of leads through the call centre. Others don't need them.
Well, painting's the one which is a problem too, I know, because that's one of the few divisions we're actually not taking on franchisees right now because there's not enough work for them.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm hearing even from high pages who put millions and millions of dollars in their advertising. They get one job for painting, they'll have 1,000 people trying to get that one job. Okay? And it's that time of the year, unfortunately.
Which doesn't indicate they're going to get much of a return for it.
No, they're getting...
It's so competitive.
It's so competitive. But again, as you said, you hit the nail on the head, Jim. It depends on the division itself. But all in all, if you've been in for 2 years, you should be getting a lot of repeat business from your customers. Like I say to my boys, they're not work leads, they're customer leads. And if you treat them the right way, they'll keep on coming back time and time again. And also, they'll speak to their neighbours, their relatives, their friends, and you will pick up work from them as well.
The interesting thing is, even if a person books something like a once-off job, like a once-off mow, if they're looked after well, they surprisingly often become regular.
Correct.
So, or other work comes out of them, or a neighbour comes across the road and asks them, or a referral comes along the road. So any job at all can turn into ongoing work.
Well, it's the same as a real estate agent. You do a good job for a real estate, they'll phone you continually. Do you do this? Do you do that?
I love that comment what you said about customer lead, looking at it that way, because you never know what that customer can turn into. They could have a commercial building company you don't know about. You don't know what they have. You don't know what friends they know. If you do a good enough job and leave an impact,
Well,
that's a really good point.
I had a painter that did a small job at a house for a guy, and he patched a hole. And he said, how much? And he said, don't worry, next time we'll catch up. The following week, he got a phone call to paint this guy's business. It was a $20,000 job. And he said, oh, that's fantastic. He had no idea that this guy was a manager of his own business.
Correct.
And he picked up a $20,000 job. That you just, as you said, John, you don't know.
I think that's a massive thing. We did a massive interview with Brett Blair, which will be on YouTube as well. So, and he said a very similar thing. So he's very, gives wine for pool care, yeah, gun divisional, and he said similar things. With them, because it's a repeat business, that could be a $10,000 every time they lead. That could be a $10,000 client just because of that repeat business that comes through. It just takes the guy that little bit extra mile. So I love that term, customer. It's a customer lead or that opportunity, as opposed to just treating it as a lead fee. A couple of comments regarding the fundraiser stuff. We haven't got a page up yet. Probably more, I haven't done it. And if we do get it up early, it'd be good because it's such an early head start on November, and it gives Jim a bit of time to prepare. And there's a couple of good ideas.
This was the one where I promised if they can raise $100,000 for Beyond Blue for mental health.
Yep.
I'll grow a beard.
We'll grow a beard, so we'll have to get that up. So that'll be on me. I'll have to go look into November, and when we do, it'll be obviously announced on our socials. So maybe next week we can have that. We'll do a video as well to accompany that and see how much we can get it going. Because why not? There's no better representation of beards or iconic beards than Jim. So let's see how that goes. And thanks for those suggestions from people last week. That was really awesome. So I'll run down some more questions here, which is great. Thanks everyone still watching. Leave a comment or a question. We'll try and get through as many as I can right now. So Stuart's tuned in again. Hi, Stuart was one of our guests. Inver's gone here. Hi, Jim. What does it take to build such a big empire? So many divisions and so many franchisees, and it keeps growing. Do you think this will ever stop?
Well, it'll stop if we don't do a good job, that's for sure. Look, as I say, it's not a matter of having brilliant ideas or being super personal or whatever. It's doing whatever you do and just saying every day, how can I do it better? How can I do it better? And every day I ask myself that question. And just keep on trying and trying and trying new things. As long as we keep on doing that, it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. That's my opinion. And I don't know any... Look, I tell you what, the only thing that's going to stop it probably is I'm going to die one of these days. I've got another 20, 25 years to go, and then I'll be dead. So...
You never know what technology might come out. You could have...
But if they come up with an elixir of immortality tomorrow, then I'd be probably a billionaire one day, because you just keep on doing better.
I don't know if you've seen the episode of Mr. Burns in the future when he has the robot. He just has his head put on the robot. So you never know. We never know what can happen in there.
Well, I don't treat anything as inevitable, not even death.
So there we go. So I'll keep going down here. We'll run down here. So thank you for everyone watching. Leave your comments or questions. I'm trying to get through as much as we can here. Jim's Batteries is tuning. Jim's Batteries doing really well. I've watched their Facebook page. They're always getting positive reviews. So well done to the Jim's Battery guys. So Dan just tuned in. They're doing really, really well, and that's awesome.
Very new division.
Very new.
And they're great blokes.
So Stephen Hogan here is from Daimler Trucks Adelaide's gone. Customer service is definitely key. Great topic, Jim. Regards, Steve Hogan. So thanks for that. It definitely is the key. And this has been like a customer service sort of almost session. I guess we can call it that tonight. And David has gone, I'm antennas and I run on a 50 to 75% referral, and that is great.
That is great.
That's a really good bit of feedback.
There are antennas franchisees who take virtually no work from the office. They've got so many referrals. And antennas is about as one-stop as you can get, but they just build their referral base.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
And Matt points out a good point here. He goes, lead fees are an investment, not a fee.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It's a great attitude to look at it. And the lead fee, I'd love to change it one day, to investment or customer something fee, but something like that. I just think it has more of a positive spin.
Franchisees can get quite upset about getting a lead fee for a job where they don't get the job for whatever reason. Yeah. But they might get a lead fee for which they pay maybe $10 for or whatever, which is worth tens of thousands of dollars down the track a bit. That's the other side of it.
And that's a brilliant point. So Matthew Wilson has gone, hey Jim, when did you start out your business? What problems did you need to overcome? So a very open-ended question from Matt. Thanks for leaving that.
Well, just figuring out how to do it better. I mean, when I started, I knew nothing. I was. That book is.
Jim's.net. You can get that for free on an audiobook.
Yeah, I didn't know anything at all. I made so many dumb mistakes. I didn't even recognise how valuable the mowing business was. For a long time, I thought it was some sort of a temporary thing that really couldn't go very far until I worked out something that was sensible to do with my time and even things like I didn't used to charge enough. I didn't upsell to jobs apart from mowing nearly well enough in the early days. I didn't understand marketing very well. I just had to keep on learning and making mistakes. And I've made more mistakes in my business career than any normal 10 people, but I just keep on trying new things and keep on learning, and that's all there is to it.
It's a great question, Matt, and thanks for that one. So Shane Topping last week, this is a good question he sent to us via direct message. He's gone, Jim, what kind of management structure have you had to put in place to be able to franchise your business and open up other franchise services? What kind of barriers have you had to overcome to accomplish this? So maybe you want to talk a bit about your management structure.
The management structure in gyms is that we have franchisees, we have what we call franchisors, regional franchisors, who are people who understand the division and look after the people in the local area. And that's what you need, because you need a personal relationship, local meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Most of our divisions have what we call a divisional franchisor, somebody who understands how that division works, like somebody who's a specialist in, say, pest control, as an example.
Yeah.
Linton and Stephanie, for example, they've been a long time in the industry. There's nothing they don't know about pest control. So you need that structure. Within the office, it's a pretty flat structure in a way, isn't it?
It's very flat. It's very flat. It's no hierarchical at all. You have Jim's obviously the CEO and everything, main decisions, but you have a very flat, like, department managers, and you just go and talk to them daily.
And I talk to a lot of the staff too, just about what's going on.
Yeah.
And also I talk a lot of the time with my franchisees direct, and multiple times a day franchisees contact me about different things, and we discuss and back and forth. They've got ideas or objections or whatever they have. So it's the whole thing is pretty flat, actually. It's not very hierarchical. In fact, in a certain sense, the way we look at things is, rather than having the boss up here and down there, we often tend to say the franchisees are the top up there, then your franchisors serves them, and the divisionals and nationals serve them. In other words, we're the service provider, they're the customers. So sometimes I invert the pyramid. Because the key is franchisees. If you've got great franchisees, you'll give great service. So how do we make them successful and happy? That's the key.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think people have a perception outside of gyms that that's a massive office in the city or something like that, and there's all these middle managers, and it's completely the opposite. So I invite anyone, if you're in the area one day, book yourself in for training. It's every 3 weeks, and come and be a part of it. What about you, Archie? Obviously, you're number 2 here, or we call you number 1 in the office, because you're a LeBron James-like salary.
Yeah, that's the big joke of the
What about your
office.
opinion about the office and how it runs? Because
Everyone's on an equal playing field, because everyone in this office helps each other. Everyone's got their job to do. Like, we've got Jake over there as well. He's new to this office. He helps everyone here. Everyone, there's no, as you said, no hierarchy as such. We've got Val that takes the phone calls over here. We've got Leah that does all the contracts. Without Leah, it all stops because we've got no contracts.
That's very true.
Without Angela there assisting,
yeah.
Leah wouldn't be able to do all the work. And the same goes with Chloe. And Bev helping us, all us divisional guys.
I think also you would find, and I'm the boss, so maybe I'm not totally aware of this, but I think most people in this office have a sense of mission too. We don't see ourselves basically as trying to make Jim rich or Jim's a lot of money. We see ourselves as serving franchisees.
Well, we are. We are, in fact, doing that.
Because everybody knows too that if the franchisee is not happy with anything in any level, they can come straight to me. So I think people have a sense of purpose in what we do, which we obviously try and encourage. And we try and recruit staff who care about what's going on.
Well, you've got Sylvia. Her 10 years is up next week, I think it is. Has been with you a long time, sort of thing. And she still phones up the franchisees and franchisor that she's put on. That's right. Over that 10-year span. There's a connection.
Knowing that you work for something, for some larger purpose. It's not just about money.
Well, I think knowing that all Jim's money essentially goes into his research, which it does. Jim doesn't have a flashy car. He's got the 8 grand Mitsubishi. He doesn't. He lives next door in a pretty humble home for what someone would probably think.
Dress in pretty ordinary clothes.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
My wife cuts my hair.
You got a very smart haircut, though.
Oh, we had a real nice bang-up meal out tonight with my family. We paid $66 at a local Indian restaurant. That is the millionaire's meal.
But I think,
and we actually took all the whole stuff back home, which I'll heat up for my lunches. So we do not live in the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
The best thing I love,
but this sort of stuff is where I'm passionate.
You get a lot of produce from your own farm, though. With
I
the
grow
garden.
massive potatoes and eggs and all kinds of things. Yeah.
But the best thing I love about it is I can have direct. My boss is Jim, so if I want to do something, I go to Jim. I don't have to go to a manager that have issues, and I don't have to do that typical call. I don't know if I could ever go work in a corporate traditional environment ever again, because I'll give you an example. This live Q&A. Jim, do you want to do a live Q&A? I explain the concept and then we do it.
Joel's
idea. That's one example, right? So we can do that. Jim, I'm going to do this for you. We're going to do this. And what do you think? Yes, no, try it, whatever. That's it. And that's how quick it is to do things around here.
That's right.
Yeah.
When he first asked me, I said, but nobody's going to want to watch me for half an hour. So,
and I think I said something pretty smart actually back. I think my comment was, I know you don't think that, Jim, even though I don't find you that interesting. People outside the group find you very, very interesting.
That's right. As I always say, Joel, the people that know me well don't have any awe of me at all. People who don't know me think, oh, that's...
Yeah. But look, but that's an example, right? So I think with our structure, it's very flat. If you do the training in 3 weeks' time or any time, you're more than welcome to come into the national office, which is where this is being filmed, and this is where all the action happens. And
or even prospective franchisees are willing to come through here.
Prospective franchisees definitely more than welcome. We get a lot of requests all the time. Send us an email and we can hook it up. You can also have a chat to Archie as well, who Archie's one of, your division for 5 services now? How many? 5 or 6?
Yeah, something like that.
You're directly a divisional only for the 4,
The four painting, handyman, fencing, and skip bins.
But you support other divisions.
I support the other ones, yeah.
You're involved in a lot of things.
And we've got John here, we've got Craig here that does it as well, Paul, looking after multiple divisions, but we all bounce off each other, which is a really, really good thing.
And I think the great thing about it is there's no role here where you can hide. I think that's what I love about it, is that if you do try and hide and do nothing, you get found out pretty quick.
Oh, my word, you do.
And that's one of the best things I love about it.
I would try and make this a good place to work too. It's not just a matter of, we do things like we have Friday lunches for the staff, which is just thrown on. And then we put a tables in this table, which was actually at home, we weren't using it. So we put it in the table down there. People can play it. It gets good use now. We're building a sporting complex with a racquetball court and a heated pool and everything at the top there. The only reason we haven't done it so far is because the bloody council did it for us.
You love them.
But that's partly for the conference centre, but it's at least as much for the staff. So we want our staff to love working here, and also if we can help them to stay fit and healthy and enjoy what they do, then you keep good people.
Well, I regularly do. I know Jake as well. We keep Jake back, but Jake and I sometimes will do 3 or 4 days in a week till 9 o'clock, not because we're putting in hours, it's because we are, but we love it. We love doing this type of stuff. We love doing content. We love sharing the stories. We love doing initiatives and being able to drive it and complete it. And it's one of the only workplaces I feel that can do it. And Jim is right. We have a great culture now in 2019, and it's only going to get better.
We often just sit around in the evening and just talk about things too.
Yeah.
About business. It's just you just come in here and Archie and myself and yourself, anybody else around, just chat about what's going on and what we can do and things that are happening, and just it's fun. It's kind of like business is a large part of my social life too. My church is there, and obviously my family, but business is a big part of your life, and it's good that you get on with people.
I think it's a great environment now, and it's definitely really, really awesome to come into work every day happy, and I think that's a great thing. If you have happy employees, generally they won't take you for a ride, I think. I think if you have happy employees and ones who feel respected, they'll put in 120%. And then I think people do that anyway, and I think we've got a really good mix of crew. We had one staff member that jumped ship a few months back, which to great regret, but they were offered a phenomenally high salary somewhere else, and she said, it's nice to have the money, but she was like, I miss Jim's. That's true. It's a very unique culture, but it's a really good one in 2019, and it's really positive. So we're also on a follow-up question here from Andy Shu. He's gone, well, we've answered this a few times before, but we'll go again. He goes, do you have a succession plan for someone to take over from you one day? Yeah, that's right. Maybe Archie? Archie step in the seat. I'm too old. I think I'll ask Archie somehow. I'm too old. Yes, we have my financial advisor got a fantastic guy called Marcus who would chair the whole thing. He's given us brilliant advice. He's a really, really good, decent guy. Yes, he is. Very knowledgeable. He comes in, we spends about a half day or a day a month with us, just helping us with things. And then my wife and family, some of my kids. But basically the way it's worked is that when I died, most of the money, the resources will go to my foundation, the research foundation. That's the aim. Enough to help my kids a little bit with getting a house and stuff, but mainly that's where the money will go. Yeah, and I hate seeing comments online when people have this misconception or greedy franchisor or greedy national or whatever. And I hate it because I know where the money goes. It doesn't go to a flashy car, I can tell you that. It goes straight into this research institute and to the purpose that Jim's trying to achieve. So anyone out there online, whoever writes that, you're completely wrong. And you can look it up online. ISN, you can look up what Jim does. People are still going to believe what they want. They can believe what they want. But I can tell you right now, I know Jim wears the same thing every day pretty much. He has the 8 grand car, and I can tell you if you ever come to National, his house is next door. You've probably got a better house than him. So don't leave that comment because it's not true. If you want to learn about Jim's research, head to the Meet Jim tab on jims.net and you can see all about it there. And get a copy of my book too. Yeah, the book as well. If you don't win, there's a prize. It'll blow your mind, some of this stuff. It's a very different way of understanding the world, and I think it could change the world in very fundamental ways. Yeah, so someone here's gone, when can you do a trade day in Adelaide? So for those of you who don't know, we do a trade day every year in Victoria. Someone's asked to do it in Adelaide.
Well,
I know it's an idea they floated around doing it maybe in each state and mixing it up. I don't know.
I guess if the Adelaide franchisors want to get together and do something about it, we'll support them. But it's difficult. We've got the environment here. We've got the conference centre, and it's really easy to do.
Yeah, I think if you SA Zors,
A lot of people come from interstate. We encourage it actually.
It's a good day. It's heaps happening, and I know this year we're going to have a film crew, and we're going to capture it all. And it's going to be getting better and better every year. And I know a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of prizes to be, heaps of prizes.
A lot of them come from interstate, and they've done very well, and they've won some prizes and stuff. And the accommodation here is the food's laid on, and the accommodation here is for our franchisees is very moderate in cost, and they're nice rooms at our conference centre too. So
there's 100 of them. Yeah, they're really good. They're really nice actually.
Terrific.
People are surprised when they come here. I know when we talk to the trainees, we do some videos for stuff, and they say they can't believe how nice the facilities are. Obviously,
the food is very famous in this place too.
Yes.
The big joke they have, is you always get, is you're going to put on a few kilos when you come to have training at this at Foothills. Yeah,
that's true. So there's a few comments and questions here. Still people watching, which is great. I've got one here. Someone goes here. Hey Jim, Ian Carter, how was your reaction to Rudd's Bats energy rollout a few years ago?
that was an idiotic idea.
That's actually a great question. What was your reaction to that?
It was stupid. It was stupid. It's typical government thinking they can fast forward things, and it wrecked the industry. A whole lot of people did a whole lot of things, people who were unqualified, and it destroyed the industry for everybody else afterwards. It was just a dumb thing to do. There are ways. I think global warming is a big, big problem. It's a big issue. But having artificial government programs is really, really bad. And that applies to things like solar subsidies and the rest. It's crappy stuff. Apart from anything else, when you give those sort of subsidies out, it's inefficient because it's not getting the market to work at it. But it also tends to favour those who are better off. Like the people who own their own houses are going to afford to put the solar. It's like a subsidy for the world to do. It's taking the money from everybody, the poor, people who haven't got much money, who pay with sky-high electricity prices, and giving it to the rich, which is the reverse of what should be happening. Now, what they ought to do about all these things, and that's where it comes to insulation and everything else, and solar panels, they ought to have a really, really heavy carbon tax, which the rich would pay a lot more than the poor. And what you then do is you give the money back in such a way that the average household is no worse off. People with less money are better off, and the people who really pay are the wealthy. So it's more efficient because it lets the market decide. And maybe the best way to save electricity is to turn the bloody lights off, which is what I tell my kids all the time. They actually have a thing in our house too. If you don't turn the lights off when you've left the room, you're going to get fined $5, and it goes to the other kids, not to me. So I try and make my kids environmentally conscious and all those kinds of things. There's a lot of things we could do, but I would like to see big efforts made to curb our use of energy and to encourage efficiency in energy and encourage decarbonising the economy, but you do it through a carbon tax and you compensate those. I get very angry with all these smart-ass, sorry, I'm going to get offensive now, but some of these smart-ass, greeny liberals who want everybody else to pay massive carbon taxes, and they go and have, jet all over the world to have holidays which burn billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the air. Basically, it's the wrong way to do it. It's inefficient, and it really hurts those who can least afford it.
Take note, Adam Bant. Now, Archie, what about your thoughts on it? Let's get you involved in this.
Well, I can't say too much more than that.
I know. Let's see.
Well, it was rushed into in the first place, and a lot of people made a lot of money out of it.
Did people get killed out of that?
There was a kid who died, the insulation, the pink bat scheme in WA, I think.
They put the rolls out.
Typical big government thinking, hey, we know better than the individual, we can have these big...
So basically the people that got in first with the bats picked up the contracts. They didn't look into who was actually doing it. They weren't licensed in any form, shape or way. Anyone could do it.
Somebody said to me, they want to get into this thing, and I said,
throwing them in.
It's too short term. It's too short term. It's not a long-term viable, sustainable industry. We've got Jim Solar actually, which does the solar panels, but also things which I think is even better, which is the LED lights.
Yeah, Jim's Energy. Yeah, they're up and about now.
Jim's Energy is good that way. So you can actually look at not just, but reducing energy, and things like insulation is part of that.
Jim's Electrical can do stuff for them as well. I know.
Yeah.
So that'd be a good one. Now, one of the questions here from Ember, for those of you who missed it last week, I still think it's the best moment. Head to the Instagram at the Jim Penman. He's asked here, Enver Bagrianic from Blind Cleaning and Repairs. He said he missed your laugh last week. He says, can you do us another version of the villain laugh?
Do you really want it? You want it?
All right, now I'll prepare everyone. So
No.
I want him to do it because I loved it. I thought it was great. But you can tell by my reaction, but I had no idea.
All right, good enough.
There you go, Ember. There you go, Ember.
That's the laugh.
That was yeah. They had three levels to
Murgatroyd.
it. They had 3 levels to it. This, what's his name? Monroe Murgatroyd.
Monroe Murgatroyd.
All right, there we go. So 3 levels there, Ember. As you notice, I went there, then even just to kick it off. So that was probably better than last week. So thanks for that one, Ember. So I've probably got 2 or 3 questions left on here, which we probably will bank up for next week. And sorry I didn't get to them. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Now, for those who are hanging around, it's important to hang around because we've got 3 prizes on offer now. So, Archie, what question did you like to award the Jim's?
Well, I've got to give the book to a skip ins guy, and that was
that Rob?
Rob.
All right, that was a good question actually.
That
we
was
haven't
a
had
great
that one
question.
before, and I like that one. So let's sign that one now for Rob. R-O-B.
Okay, all right.
R-O-B. Ember's gone. That was brilliant. Yeah, that was probably better than last week's one actually. Ember, level up. Now, for the $250 voucher, Jim, which one do you want to give for pest control?
I had the question about space.
Oh, the space exploration from Nick.
Space exploration.
That's awesome. Nick's a young fella, and I didn't think you'd pick that one, but that's great. Nick, you've got a $250 voucher for pest control. Seeing you're young, if there's any girls hassling you, maybe get them around. So Nick Kringle, just DM us your details and I'll get you that voucher. So thank you for Linton and Stephanie from Jim's Termite and Pest Control for that. We much appreciate that. And if you're a divisional or regional watching, I'm not saying we do it for prizes, but if you've got anything you want to put on offer to people besides the books, just send us an email or something on Facebook and we can put it up there. And for the book, you can either have this one or this one.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Why don't we just say that anybody who's on here, the first person that writes in that says, I want the book, can have this book.
Okay, so on the comments now.
Give it to the person who wants it.
All right, on the Jim's group feed, if you go in the comments now and you want that, go. Say you want it. The first one that's there, I'll DM you. And for my one here, I'm going to pick, we actually had some really good questions tonight. I love all the customer service ones, so I'm going to try and back and find something about this customer service stuff. I'd love to give one to Ali, but Ali Olmez is the CEO because that was the history question, and that was a great one. But of Jim's cleaning, so I probably can't give it to someone. I can't give it to someone
anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm just trying to find one here about the customer service, which I really liked. Sorry, guys, as I'm sort of stuffing everyone around here. What I'll do is I'll pick one out. Let me just give me 1 second. I don't know, guys, what one was there? Actually, no, I like the management one. I'll go with that one because that's probably people takes us behind the scenes. So Shane Topping, about what kind of management structure do we have in place. I think that revealed a lot about the customer. So let's go for Shane, please. Shane. Yep, so Shane. So Shane, I will DM you your details. So let's go to the comments here. All right, so the first one's gone. Shane Tramstrom's first that I can see in the feed. I'll go back and double check that. Thanks for those people who commented then. Shane Charnstrom was first. He says, I want it.
You want it?
Shane Charnstrom.
Okay, no worries.
So I'll get your details, Shane, and we'll do it. So
actually, Shane, there's 2 versions. There's the popular one here,
yeah,
and there's the academic one too, which is much the same thing, but it's a lot more footnotes and stuff. So.
I'll just double check those times to make sure that was correct, but we'll do that for you as well. And Kevin Wilson's put some workplace fundraisers on here for Everyday Hero for their footy club as well, for Beyond Blue, so get on that. And we're actually going to do that, so I'm going to make sure I get to that page next week and do a video and get that up and running and try and get as much donations as possible so that when November comes around, hopefully we can get the...
And by the way, if anybody wants to know more about this, www.biohistory.org. You'll see some good videos on there which basically explain what it's about.
Yeah, and that's a really good website actually. You've got a nice interactive animation, all that sort of stuff. It's a really good website. And it's also on Meet Gym. If you go to gyms.net, there's a Meet Gym tab. Click on that. This is available there, plus You can read about that. You can purchase that as well, and you can go to the website as well, and you can find out about Jim's researchers as well. So, guys, thank you very much for everyone who watched. Hopefully the Maroons won, but I probably think New South Wales did. We'll see you again next week, same time, 7 o'clock. The week after that, we'll be doing it at Jim's training on the Tuesday. So if you're a prospective franchisee coming down to the next training, a lot of training, you will be in the audience for this. So have some questions
and you
prepared.
can ask your questions live.
Yeah, you can ask your questions live. It's a bit of fun, and it mixes it up on a Tuesday night as well. So thank you very much to Archie as well.
Thanks for having me.
Archie's here in National Office, so anyone who ever comes to National Office, you can see Archie, who's the bouncer outside Jim's door.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of
hiding there
experience.
behind his great raft of... he's always defended against the world, like the fortress of solitude, isn't that right?
Exactly.
It's a fortress of solitude. Literally, sometimes you might see him nodding off over the corner.
You need it around here. It gets pretty busy.
He's been flat out. He works very long hours. He does a great job with our divisions, and we look forward to him taking them forward. And Handyman having hopefully 500 franchisees maybe in 5 years. It's got enough work.
That's what we're looking at.
And fencing as well. You got a lot. So thank you everyone for your time again, and we'll see you again next week. We appreciate you watching, and gyms.net for everything gyms.
All right.
See you guys.
See you next week.
See ya.